Nursing homes and assisted living facilities nationwide have gotten in trouble after residents have wandered away. In one case, a woman died. Your chief investigative reporter, Sam Smink, is here to take a closer look at that problem. Sam.
Steph, it's a scary situation for everyone involved. National investigative reporter Andy Parati spoke with one family whose mother wandered away in Georgia, a family who now wants answers for themselves and anyone who might face this terrifying circumstance.
Right now, there's a search on for a missing 89-year-old woman in Marietta.
She's an assisted living resident, but she cannot be located.
Police say this woman, Patricia Mealy, left her assisted living facility on Whitlock Avenue.
We've done a full sweep of the property, and we cannot locate this resident.
A call for help this past November to find a beloved grandmother who vanished from Greenwood Place, an assisted living facility. Karen Phillips is Patricia's daughter.
She's like, what happened?
Garrett is her son-in-law.
That's a pretty big, basic foundation of their job is don't lose our mother.
After nowhere to be seen for 2.5 days, police get the call everyone feared.
We begin with breaking news out of Marietta, a tragic end to a desperate search.
Patricia's body discovered in this pond inside Kennesaw Memorial Park, a cemetery less than a mile from the facility where she went missing. Investigate TV spoke to Patricia's family just hours after they identified her body.
Someone knows what really happened. Someone who was on site there that night knows what he or she did or did not do.
The operator of Greenwood Place, Terabella Senior Living, declined interview requests, but in a statement said, "We're fully cooperating with law enforcement and providing unnecessary information to support their efforts." An investigation by Investigate TV uncovered Patricia's disappearance. Something regulators call elopement is one of hundreds that have happened at assisted living facilities and nursing homes across the country. According to an analysis of ProPublica's nursing home inspection data, from 2020 to August 2024, state health officials cited at least 1,100 nursing homes for serious elopement violations. That includes this 88-year-old Arkansas woman who died after walking away from her facility in 2021, one day after she was admitted. This elderly South Carolina man found dead in a pond after wandering away from his facility in 2022. And this woman in Arizona who died from heat exposure after walking away from her memory care home.
Someone found her body in a canal 2 miles away.
Andy, staffing is always the issue. It's always the issue.
Attorney Mike Prieto specializes in nursing home litigation and represents Patricia Mealy's family.
You see high turnover rates, and you see the pay just barely above the poverty line. And you can't have continuity of care when you have a constant turnover of these care providers.
According to SeniorLead.com last year, an industry think tank, Georgia ranked as the third worst state in the nation for elder care staffing. To address the problem, the Biden administration proposed federal staffing mandates in 2023, including requiring at least one registered nurse working 24/7 at each facility. The proposed federal staffing mandates are still pending. A family mourning the loss of their matriarch, desperate for answers.
We think someone ought to be held accountable, and we can't imagine this happening to anybody else.
ProPublica's inspection data shows 8 nursing homes in Connecticut were inspected for elopement deficiencies from 2021 through 2024. Some were inspected after actual elopements, while others were inspected for failing to identify elopement risks or staff not being properly trained in proper policies. To read these reports, head to our website. Your chief investigative reporter, Sam Smink, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Sam, thank you. In Simsbury